Hey, and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. Be in the know to get that dough. We're here for Friday, and we got a full slate of action in the NBA. The World Series is about to get started. We got some action in there as well, but we got a lot of NBA action. We are going to get into our Soxer action, as always, on Friday. We're going to do two shows, one with all our NBA and other action, and then a full weekend show that will drop later tonight, and it'll have all the soccer action all weekend, getting into Saturday and Sunday, so we don't have to pop back on here really early. You have our picks, and you have what we want. That soccer show will air later tonight, but today we're going to get into some NBA and some Major League Baseball before we hit the soccer and that soccer show drops. But let's get into some NBA. We got a lot of picks today, handful of player props, and then a couple parlays in there. And we hit one of the first NBA field goals the other night when we had that full slate. We got the good one, DeAndre Hunter, 11-1. I told you I've been charting them, so we got a lot more of those, and we'll ride them until we sort of hit a dead spot and see what happens. But really liked what we did that for first day, hitting that 11-1 with DeAndre Hunter. So we got a full list of NBA first field goal mades. But let's get into our straight bets first, and let's just get into our games. We're going to start out with the Detroit Pistons +6 versus the Atlanta Hawks. They just played each other. Atlanta dominated them pretty good. Detroit's defense still continues to be really porous. But we're just going to ride Detroit. We were big on Detroit in the preseason that they might be a little sneaky. They've started off red. There's just a little too much talent to come in here. +6 at home. I like it today. We'll see if Jaden Ivey plays, but I don't think that is that big a deal, though. He's started out really well. But we're looking for a big day for the Pistons to cover that +6. We're also going to ride the other team that we thought would be a little bit better to start the season, and that would be the Orlando Magic +2 facing the Charlotte Hornets. Haven't won a game yet. They're really beat up. The Hornets are pretty beat up too. It's both sort of give or take who's going to play. Rozier might be back today, but definitely no Jalen Suggs for the Magic. Still no Markelle Fultz. Cole Anthony's out, so it's down to Wagner sort of running the point with Paolo Banchero, and then that sort of rotating players of length. Ball, Wendell Carter Jr., it's just Mo Bamba. It's all of them sort of rotating in there, and then a little Terrence Ross. So we'll see if they can get off the side tonight at home versus Charlotte Hornets, if they can get back into the groove here tonight and blow the Utah Jazz out. So we're going to take the Denver Nuggets -8. We got them in a parlay a little bit later as well with the Phoenix Suns. To say that, Pelicans, no clue what team's going to blow out there. We know Ingram is out. Questionables on CJ McCollum and Zion Williamson. Questionables all over the place for the New Orleans Pelicans. They just aren't healthy. I think Phoenix, gets them a little bit here. This is a rematch of the second round of the playoffs where New Orleans gave them a little bit of a hard time. So let's see if Phoenix can sort of roll it up. I'm taking that Denver and Phoenix are going to roll these guys tonight. And lastly, we're going to take the Houston Rockets +3.5. Portland lost their last game to the Heat. Damian Lillard went out. He's going to be out for a couple weeks here. Houston, not a very good team, but I think Damian Lillard, that really hampers the Portland Trailblazers. Look for Simons to take up the scoring sort of role that he did there. The lines adjusted a little bit, so it was a little hard to put player props in there on Anthony Simons. It was like 24.5 on the player point total, so it wasn't a good player prop thing, but I'm going to ride with Josh Hart in a couple player props. But like the Rockets tonight, plus it's really +4.5, but I didn't like the juice on that -115. Couldn't get the 4, so I made an alternate line of plus 3.5, plus 100. But I would just take the 4.5 if you're more comfortable with that without the juice. I'm going to lower it down plus a 3.5. I'd also look at a little bit of a money line bet here. I think the Rockets can go in there and upset them a little bit without Dame. You saw what happened to Portland once Dame went out. Last year. Look for that to be more of the same. Even though, with Nurkic, with Grant, they got a little bit better cover right now. But let's see if the Rockets could go in there. Plus the 3.5, even money on the 100 on that one. So, Pistons 6, Magic 2, Nuggets 8, Rockets plus 3.5, and Suns minus 8. We got 3 player props we're going to hit up here. We're going Franz Wagner over the 20. We're going Cade Cunningham over 1.5 3-pointers made, minus 105 on that one. If Ivy can't play, really, really like that one. So, have your sportsbook app open and ready. See what the starting lineup is. If there's no Ivy, hammer that Cade Cunningham over 1.5, minus 105. And we're going to go Jalen Green over 22.5 points here. I just don't think Portland's going to be able to guard the guards here. I looked at a little bit of a 2-person same game parlay in Green and Porter, both over points here, but Green 22.5 minus 120, like that one as well. So those are the NBA straight bets for tonight. Let's get into our first field goals. We're going to go Cade Cunningham first field goal plus 600, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum first field goal 440 plus 550, Tobias Harris plus 550 first field goal, Pascal Siakam plus 440 first field goal, Jalen Smith plus 1,000 at first field goal. Anthony Davis plus 490. Lonnie Walker plus 1,000. Jeremy Sochern plus 1,000. Michael Porter Jr. 750, Josh Hart plus 800, and Kevin Porter Jr. Plus 550. Kevin Porter Jr. has gotten the first field goal for Houston in every game this season. Now, it hasn't always been the first field goal in the game, but he's gotten the first field goal in every game so far this season. So just ride the streak. So Cunningham, Brown, Siakam, Smith, Davis, Walker, Sochern, Porter Jr., Josh Hart, and Kevin Porter Jr. So those are our first field goals. Let's see if we can hit another one. Maybe we could get 1 or 2 tonight and really profit off too. Let's go into our NBA parlays. We got a couple we really, really like here. We're going Anthony Edwards, 30-plus points, 4+ threes. Playing the Lakers tonight. If you watch any of the Lakers outside wing slash guard defenders, they are not going to be capable of Anthony Edwards. I keep trying to get Karl Anthony Towns to hit these numbers. It doesn't look like he's going to hit this number. So we're going to go with Anthony Edwards right at 4+ threes, 30+ points. That's plus 379 in a 2-leg. Next up, we talked about it. Josh Hart been rebounding like crazy for the Portland Trailblazers. So we're going Josh Hart, 10+ rebounds, 15+ points in this game versus the Rocket. In a 2-leg same game parlay, plus 430 on that one. And then we're going to do 2 money line parlays here. We're going to do a money line parlay, Orlando Magic, Detroit Pistons. Both get off the schneid, both get their opening win of the season. So Magic Pistons plus 515 in that 2-team parlay. And then we're going an alternate line, minus 12.5 for both the Nuggets and the Suns. That's plus 602 in that 2-team parlay. So Nuggets Suns plus 602 in that one. All right, that's all the action we got in baseball. Let's get into the World Series, Houston versus Philadelphia. We're going to open up with a run line bet. We're going to do Houston Astros minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 3. So we're going 1.5 plus 130. Minus 2.5 plus 240, and minus 3 plus 320 on that one. So we're going to take all 3 and just sort of ride them a little bit less on each one as they go up. So the 1.5, we got 62.50 on. The 2.5 at 240, we got 37.50 on, and the minus 3 at plus 320, we got 25 on. If you want to do the 3.5 on the alternate line, that's fine. It went up to about 360, but I want to see if we can maybe just get the push there on that -3 if they don't end up winning by the 4 outright, and collect our winnings on the 2.5 and 1.5. We're going two totals here. We're going Houston Astros over 3.5 runs scored -115, and the Philadelphia Phillies under 2.5 runs scored at -110. And lastly, in Major League Baseball, we're going to get Justin Verlander with the win, +215. We really like that value. Look for Justin to go 6-7 innings tonight and just shut down this Philadelphia Phillies team. I look at the alternate strikeout prop. The main one is -5.5. It is juiced to -170. Don't see much value in there. But if you want to grab like 7, maybe 7.5, if you're feeling lucky, I look for him to do that. Phillies are a swing and miss team. Look for Verlander to come out gutting. I'd stay away from the early inning run props because both these pitchers have had a tendency to sort of struggle in the early innings. If you could get to them in the first or second innings, that's where you're going to get your runs. If they get out of that, they seem to find their stride. So maybe you want to do just a 2 same game parlay of Nola and Verlander both going on the over strikeouts. Houston doesn't swing his miss quite as much, but Nola's been on fire. 5.5 is pretty low total. So, if these two can get out early, I think both that strikeout props hit. So that's what we got. Any of the action, be in the know to win that dough. That's our show, and we're out.